everyone. Well, today is a good day because I'm welcoming back Chilliwack Mayor Ken Popove. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning, Nancy, and I promise I won't pick my nose.
That's good. I'm really glad to hear that. I have a zit. I could pick my zit.
Oh, yeah.
I know seniors shouldn't have zits.
Oh,
Anyway,
what the heck?
but it's not like an acne, a teen acne. It's actually a senior zit.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Okay. What I want to talk about is what's really a good thing that's happening here in Chilliwack. No more paper, plastic bags in the grocery stores or any of the stores, I think, right?
Well, that's where it's been earmarked to start, obviously, but that is just the start of that. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's awesome. Now, I believe it was supposed to begin before COVID. Is that right?
I'm not sure. The province put it out there, and we're just following in line with their new legislation, and it's been talked about at the city table for a better part of a year for sure, and then it was implemented April 1st, I think it's a good thing as well. It's a change of strategy for people, me included. I'm halfway to a grocery store. Oh, darn, I forgot my reusable bag. But it's a change, and certainly I've got like a lot of male for and against doing this, but as we move forward into the days and weeks and months ahead, it's just a change in how people do business, and we'll all get used to it, and all the angst will be over, and we'll keep our landfills clear of plastic. I'm a stickler for, I hate litter. It just drives me nuts. It'll certainly help that as well. So it was a good positive move, and then we'll see what plan B and C in the upcoming weeks ahead to what's next kind of thing. So it's a good step that the province put forward, and we're following along with what they wanted us to do. So yeah, it's all good.
Yes, I agree. And what I like about the grocery store, at least the ones I go to, they have, when you want a plastic bag just to put your little vegetables in, they now have compostable plastic bags.
Yep.
I put them in my little composter at home. So
yeah, there you go.
Really good. I'm pleased. I'm sorry to hear that people are complaining about it.
Well, it's funny. I was at one of the grocery outlets here shortly after the first of the month, and there's a big sign on there, if you need a bag, we can sell you a bag or what have you. And the lady must have recognized me in the lineup, and she said, "Do you know anything about this?" And well, yeah, I kind of do, and we kind of chuckled, and I asked her how people are accepting of it, and she says, no, they're accepting of it fine. So because there's been so much pre-conversation about this issue, and then when it lands in our lap, if you will, it now has, it's a thing. And it's good to hear about compostable bags, and it'll make the folks that build bags pivot what they're doing and build them in a better way. So
and I understand that some people find that the change difficult at first, right?
Yeah.
That's probably human nature.
Oh yeah. And when we do redevelopments, people will knock one house down and build two, and of course, people are going to get killed. There's going to be 4 more cars on the street. Well, no, it's not going to happen that way. But it's just the whole thing just boils down to people just don't like change, and I get it.
Absolutely. Another thing that I received an email, and it was from City Hall, I believe, and it's to do with a survey, something to do with the carbon footprint ending by, wanting things to end by such and such a date.
Yeah.
Now that was something. Does that council decided to send that out? How did that work?
Well, that's it's a provincial legislation is what they want us to follow along with, which we're legislated to do, obviously, and
Yes.
and each municipality has like a job ahead of us to be as carbon neutral as we can. We've started in our fleets going to propane, and we are going to start purchasing electric vehicles as well. So we're going to play a role in that. that's a long game. That's going to take a while for, for this to come to fruition. It's something that certainly is needed. It adds to climate change, obviously, and I hope to not ever go through another heat dome and another, Pineapple Express is what I call it. But it's all a tribute to climate change. So it's our responsibility to be leaders in this, and we are going down that path.
Yeah, and in reality, it's something that should have happened yesterday.
Well, yeah, for sure. And we talked about the plastics being a long game. This is even longer.
Yeah.
But I believe we're going in the right direction. But it's everybody has to play a part in this, and so we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious about, like, I've heard people talk about the expense of electric cars, but then I've also heard that, well, once they're really starting to sell, then the prices go down, right? And they become more affordable for people.
Well, they sure are expensive. There's no question about it. And us as a city are putting in more charging stations, and when developers build their 6 or 4 story apartments, you have to have the pre-wiring in the buildings to allow for the charging systems to go in. So we've certainly made steps in that direction.
Right. Now, will there be any kind of legislation for, like, I'm in an older building, so obviously we don't have those stations, but and I remember our council talking about it. So will there be any kind of mandate where buildings will have to have them? Do you know?
I don't think it'll be, to retrofit, your building would be cost prohibitive to do that. So what your folks will have to do is go to an outside source. There's one at City Hall and one at the library and one, they'll be all over town, like eventually. But there's no talk about that. No.
Right. Are those going to be free to use?
There is going to be a cost attached to it. I'm not sure how that actually works, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think you'll have to put your bank card in there or somehow, and there's new technology evolving all the time, and that side of it is going to be improved as well. So but I'm not sure exactly how that works. I'm sorry, I can't answer that one.
Okay, I was just kind of curious anyway. Another thing, I can't remember if we've talked about this before, but I always think about, why couldn't we be permitted to drive those gators or, golf carts or whatever, right? Because they're all electric. Is that something that could be done in the future, that would be allowed to use them on our regular roads?
I doubt it. Smaller communities have gone to that, and there's still quite a number of them that are still gas powered as well. So in a perfect world, like in gated communities, I think, where, the Strata Council votes to do that kind of thing, I think it'd be kind of fun to do that. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If you go down to Arizona or Palm Springs, they're everywhere, and it's just the ease of getting from point A to point B, and not, like, emitting a bunch of emissions, and but here in Chilliwack, no, I can't see that happening.
Oh, darn, Mayor.
No, sorry. Don't feel mad at me. That's my opinion. Talk to ICBC. They'd be the ones that would have to, deal with the insurance side of it. But
I see.
it's like those scooters you see out there and whatnot. They're, sometimes, folks, they feel entitled, and it's sometimes it's dangerous. I know before my dad passed, it's a few years ago, but he was in one of those, and he had some near misses as well. So it people got to watch out for everything on the road.
Yeah, I had one until I moved here, where I come off to the stores, but I had one, but I stayed on the sidewalks, and I had a horn. So if I was behind pedestrians, I always honked the horn a little bit quietly, right, to let them know I'm behind them. I never went on the road because I thought it was dangerous to be on the road.
Kind of surprised you didn't have a big stick or something to whack people. Okay, I'm coming through.
Well, now I walk with a cane, so I still have a stick.
Yeah. it was good to see you last Saturday there at the Kindness Chain. You know, that is such a great group of folks that are really giving back to the community. And, you know, I was proud to be there. I'm proud of what those guys are doing. And you know, I would hope that more people would, you know, fall in line with how they're dealing with community. And it's just wonderful to see. And, you know, it was neat to see the culture, you know, the praying and that, you know, like I learned about Ramadan and all that stuff. So yeah, my hat's off to that crew. It was great. Yeah.
You know what I'm hearing, you know, as I do these interviews, I'm hearing more and more that Chilliwack is becoming such a wonderful place to live, and this all inclusiveness and this like the kindness change, people like that doing things. It's just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, no, well, you know, Chilliwack is a great place to live. We were one of the fastest, if not the fastest growing, you know, community in BC. We're like 113,000 people now, and they're still coming. Yeah, there's lots of building going on. We're working on the infrastructure side of it. Yeah, it's a great place. If you look outside today, you know, blue sky and mountains, and it's you know, I think we take it for granted too much, you know, where we actually live. You know, I was watching the news this morning, and I'm sure glad I'm not living in Manitoba. You know, they got you know, a whole bunch of snow coming in and, you know, like and whatnot, and it they can have it. I like our
yes,
sunny, cool BC. Absolutely.
I've talked about my sister and I, one of my sisters and I talked about moving back to New Brunswick where we're from, because it's so affordable. But again, you have to tolerate the winters. You know?
Yeah, no, I'd rather stay here and tolerate the mosquitoes, you know, for a month rather than that kind of winter. But yeah, no, it's a great place.
Yeah. So anything else new that you want to announce to the viewers?
Well, there's nothing really new. Like I touched on the infrastructure, that pain in the butt piece of road from Watson to Keith Wilson. We're still waiting for I believe it's Shaw and Telus now to move their wires over, and so we can finally put the top coat on that. And there's all kinds of road work and sidewalk work that's, you know, what's going on. Just be aware of the, you know, the crews out there and the flaggers. Please, you know, respect your speed, especially in school zones, and yeah, just stay safe, everybody.
Stay safe for sure. Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for taking the time to come on the show. I always appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Nancy.
Even though I know everybody now knows that I'm your favorite, so it's all good.
All right. Okay, we'll talk soon.
Take care and have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Peace out.
Bye-bye.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.